Hey, good morning, Prescott, and thank you for joining us a little bit early today. I am so pleased to have my next two guests. I have Donna Tanzi, who is the president of the Yavapai chair of the Yavapai GOP, and I have second chair Paul Carrey of the Yavapai GOP. So I want to just say thank you both for getting up early and coming in, and let's talk everything. Today's first hour is going to be about our Republican Party and what we stand for within our party here in the county. So with that, Donna, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
You bet. And so what is going on within the party in Yavapai County?
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. I mean, I have this great executive committee, and they're all on fire to make the changes that we said we'd make. Mm-hmm. First of all, the first change was unity, bringing the party together. And as a result of the election on Saturday, our past Saturday, where we elected state delegates to go to the convention down in Phoenix on May 9th, and that's to elect the national delegates to go to the national convention.
Which is a process.
Yes, it's going to be held in August in Charlotte, North Carolina. So anyway, that's pretty exciting. But what was more important, was very interesting, was I'm the caretaker of the ballots, so we can always prove, how the election went. And I just happened to be going through the ballots, and it was really interesting. When I was elected, there was about 35% you could tell were not necessarily with the party. They were kind of antagonistic and, voting against a lot of things. Today, with the ballots that were cast, you could see that had shifted, and it was only about 10% that were, actually 15%, to be honest with you, that were voting not in unity with the party. And when I say not in unity, they were voting that slate that said, all of you vote for this person and all of you vote for this person.
Yeah.
And not really using common sense, the brain, to say who in the heck is doing the work in the party.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We want precinct committeemen out there that are doing the work, doing what it takes to be a Republican and changing hearts and minds and souls one at a time.
Yeah.
So,
and we're going to get into the precinct committeemen, and I'll have Paul speak to that. But I think you kind of hit on a point where unity is so important. And I believe that, and let me back up a little bit. There are a lot of people out there who I see on Facebook that really bash Republicans, and they're Republicans, but they speak really and negatively about it. As a matter of fact, name calling. And I think it's okay to debate each other. I mean, we see today two candidates. You got Martha McSally and you got Daniel McCarthy, and they're both Republicans. And I don't see where they're the debate's gotten ugly. But we all have to make a decision who we feel best satisfies our Republican values, I guess is the best way to put it. But if you want to get involved with solutions, if you want to sit back and complain about the party and who's in it or who's running it or who's a member of the legislature, this is where you make the difference. Am I right, Donna?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we get together and we become one voice behind one united voice as we go forward.
Right.
And I tell you, as a PC, and I've been a PC for over a year now, I actually feel the difference within the party. When I go there, I see, we had all these little factions everywhere.
Exactly.
And it's not saying that those little factions still don't exist, but they're littler factions.
Yeah, exactly.
And the main body has come together, and we're speaking more as one. I mean, you see it, you feel it, Paul. I'm sure you're seeing the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. And the one thing about the Republican Party is we are a big tent party. We like discussing the issues. We don't have to be lockstep behind what someone says and follow and just take it as a religious fact or something. We're open. I have my strong opinions on things, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to listen to other people. Maybe you could persuade me that I need to alter my opinion or modify it slightly. The more you know, the better informed you are and the better voter you will be.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. When you get into that ballot box, you're going to be better informed, and you're going to make that decision based, again, on your values and where you stand. So I believe it is coming together, bottom line, and I think that a lot of that credit goes to you, Donna, and you. I will be honest with you, and I debated to even say this while we're live streaming because I don't like to expose myself too much. But I will tell you, I was really not going to be a PC anymore. I was going to step back because I saw this fragmented party that was going on, and I said, man, I don't want to be part of that. You know, it's kind of like the decision I make on a lot of Facebook sites. I don't want to be a part of that. I'm getting out of here. But because of what you have done and what what your group has done, I should say, along with you, I see the unity coming back together, and I see one voice. And
Well,
so
one of the
I'm
important-
proud. I'm proud to be a PC, and I'm getting my signatures, and I'm going to be a PC again because I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stick
I'm glad
with it
you
all.
decided to stay.
Yeah, 'cause-
Attend some meetings. Like we're going to have monthly meetings again. And one thing about my precinct, those monthly meetings were always informative. We got over 50% at every meeting. We did not have trouble putting a group together, and everyone left that meeting feeling uplifted, happier, motivated. And that's really what it's all about.
And that's what I'm seeing. A lot of the PC captains are motivated.
Oh my gosh, we have PC captains that will just knock your socks off. I mean, I've been blown away. We've pretty much said the old way was not working, and I think that was due to the way Prescott was. It was so conservative that there really probably wasn't a need for people to be as active as they are today. But now we have a lot of people coming into Prescott area. It's growing very quickly, and we could very quickly be that blue county that we know was red at one time, and we were going, what happened? Well, you know, we're engaging, and we're saying we've got to be out there. They've got to see us, and they see us now. We're in the parade. We're in 2 or 3 parades a year now. We hadn't been in parades in 10 years. We're doing forums. We're taking the lead on issues that we need to take the lead on, where before it was other memberships that did that, not the Yavapai GOP. And that's the big change out there, and people are seeing it in terms of raising money. Oh my gosh, 120%. Our assets are up 120%.
Yeah.
Our PCs are up about 120%. I mean, it's phenomenal what's happening, and they're feeling it.
I think that's a good point, is when you start seeing more and more activity on the other side, on the Democratic, Prescott Indivisible, what have you, that you realize that, you know what, we better get involved.
Yeah.
Because if we don't get involved, we're going to lose this thing. Paul, what I'd like to ask you, we keep on throwing the word PC out there. What is a PC, and how do you become one?
Well, a precinct committeeman is the beginning rung of government. It's an elected position or appointed, as you may know, like Martha McSally was appointed this last time. But we have nomination forms and petitions that we have to fill out, just as Paul Gosar does, and anyone else who wishes to run for office. You need to get your signatures, turn them in, and you will either be on the ballot or you will be appointed. They are the grassroots of the organization. They are the link between the voter and the party. We are generally better informed than the party because we get together for meetings. We talk to the candidates, all of them. We learn about ballot initiatives and laws that are on the horizon coming our way. So for our neighborhoods and our families, the people we go to church with, we are the expert, and that's what we do. We educate, and like Donna was saying, we do many things. and raising money. Fundraising is very important. We have an office here in town. We've got to keep the lights on. We have printed materials. Prices keep going up. And we don't have sacks of cash coming in like some other parties do. Also, our presence in the community has been more than it used to be. We not only in the parades, but we're at the gun show. We're at the home show. We're out at the rodeo parade. We're all over shaking hands with our neighbors, and if they have any questions, we're happy to answer them. As far as what a PC does, we do everything that we can do to get our good candidates elected to office, and that's probably the biggest time-consuming job, because they need petition signatures. As I said at the rodeo booth that we had, we'd have candidates, all of our candidates out there. We don't show favoritism toward any candidate until after the primary is over. We get behind our candidate then. So we have them all out there getting their petitions signed. Lately, Trump gear has been going very good. Trump is quite a phenomenon.
Yeah.
And we will not see another Trump, I don't think, for some time. It would be great to have another one. Yeah. He loves our country so much, it's easy to get behind him. So we participate in everything that we possibly can do. You know, I brought something today with me. I was thinking about coming on your program, and what if I was going to leave your audience with something, what should that be? And you said an hour. If I could take a minute, I'd like to read something.
Well, before you do that, I want to ask you,
Certainly.
who can be a PC? So somebody who's watching saying, yeah, I want to get involved in this. We know how to get involved with it. You go to Union Street, but who can that person be?
Okay, you have to be a registered voter. And if you want to work for us, you have to be a Republican and in an active status. The Democrats have their precinct committeemen. They have to be Democrats. They have to be registered voters. And your precinct, which is the smallest section in government, you are a precinct committeeman in that precinct. You can't be a precinct committeeman in a different precinct. This is where your job is. We're allowed about one precinct committeeman per 125 Republican voters in that precinct.
Right.
So that's how you become one.
And if you have any questions, we'll put up the website to be able to get a hold of both you guys or ask questions. Or you can go over here on Union Street, which is the headquarters, and you're more than welcome to Republican headquarters, and I'm sure they'd be able to fill you in on any questions that you may have.
Yes, they can, and they're conveniently located. It's a half a block from the courthouse.
Yeah.
You also need to be 18 years of age.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to be legally voting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, share your thought, Paul.
Okay, this is our Republican platform. It's the preamble that was written in 2016, and every time I read it, my heart swells with pride. And this really does spell out our party and what we're all about. With this platform, we, the Republican Party, reaffirm the principles that unite us in a common purpose. We believe in American exceptionalism. We believe the United States of America is unlike any other nation on earth. We believe America is exceptional because of its historic role, first as a refuge, then as a defender, and now as an exemplar of liberty for the world to see. We affirm, as did the Declaration of Independence, that all are created equal, endowed by their Creator with inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We believe in the Constitution as our founding document. We believe the Constitution was written not as a flexible document, but as our enduring covenant. We believe our Constitution, a constitutional system, limited government, separation of powers, federalism, and the rights of the people must be preserved uncompromised for future generations. We believe political freedom and economic freedom are indivisible. When political freedom and economic freedom are separated, both are in peril. When united, they are invincible. We believe that the people are the ultimate resource and that the people, not the government, are the best stewards of our country's God-given natural resources. As Americans and as Republicans, we wish for peace, so we insist on strength. We will make America safe. We seek friendship with all peoples and all nations, but we recognize and are prepared to deal with evil in the world. Based on these principles, this platform is an invitation and a roadmap. It invites every American to join us and shows the path to a stronger, safer, and more prosperous America. This platform is optimistic because the American people are optimistic. This platform lays out in clear language the path to making America great and united again. That is why many sections of this platform affirm our trust in the people, our faith in their judgment, and our determination to help them take back their country. This means removing the power from unelected, unaccountable government. This means relieving the burden and expense of punishing government regulations. And this means returning to the people the states that control the states the control that belongs to them, rather than the federal government, obviously. And it is the control and the power to make their own decisions about what is best for themselves and their families and communities. This platform is many things: a handbook for returning decision-making to the people, a guide to constitutional rights of every American, and a manual for the kind of sustained growth that will bring opportunity to all those on the sidelines of our society. Every time we sing "God Bless America," we are asking for help. We ask for divine help that our country can fulfill its promise. We earn that help by recommitting ourselves to the ideas and the ideals that are the true greatness of America.
Perfect. You know what? I'm glad that you brought that, because so many times I ask somebody, what does it mean to you to be a Republican? And they kind of, well, capitalism, well, but that spells out the whole platform. And well done. I appreciate you bringing that in, Paul.
You're welcome.
Because if you're sitting at home right now and saying, yes, I'm a registered Republican, know what you stand for and know the platform of the party and understand that, we are here we preserve life, right? We preserve our Constitution.
Yes,
our
as
Declaration,
written, as it's said
written.
right here.
And we do not go from any direction from this. We support Israel. Mm-hmm. We support our borders and our laws. We support our Second Amendment. These are the very foundations. Am I wrong? And these are my values.
Yes.
I'm unwavering. When somebody comes up to me and says, "Do you support the Second Amendment?" Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
I will fight for that Constitution. And I'm no hero. I'm just like everyone else. And Paul, you served and you swore an oath. And when we swear that oath, that means something to us. I didn't serve in the military, but I've sworn that oath. And it does mean something to me. And there is no expiration date. Right. So when you say, I will support the Constitution against all enemies, foreign or domestic, that means the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the 14th Amendment. You go on and on.
Yeah, and our forefathers putting in there that we have the right to pursue happiness.
Right.
What other country ever said that?
And they didn't guarantee happiness, Paul, but they said you have the right to pursue it.
Yes.
It doesn't mean the government says, hey, we're going to make you happy and give you, free health care or this or that or anything. You have the right to pursue happiness.
Yes. Yeah, we don't determine outcomes.
Right.
We want you to succeed.
Right.
We don't want to pre-plan your life for you, which happens in so many socialist countries. Right. If you want to be a doctor, you can't be one. You're going to, I don't know, have a lower skilled position in the government, or wherever.
And socialism today is such a threat. I mean, we're watching Bernie Sanders surge, which, in my opinion, I hate to see it, number one, but as a Trump supporter, I love it because that's just going to give him a landslide. The country is not ready for socialism. but it scares me to see so many youth behind it that I don't think they realize it.
Well, Bernie hasn't been saying what he said before, which is that he wants 90% of your paycheck.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if they knew that they were actually going to go out and get a job and get 10, well, it would be a fraction. It wouldn't be enough to live on. You would be reduced to being the masses, where everybody's poor, everybody's angry, no
Right.
one is happy.
Angry is a great way of putting it. They
And
are.
the elitists are doing just fine.
Yeah.
We want everybody to be happy. Thank you.
You know, I sat and watched, we went last night to Quan Nguyen, who's running for LD1, and he was talking about socialism. And, you know, socialism is a communist without an AK-47. That's a socialist. So, and he was talking about what it was like to lose your freedoms and be in a socialist country fighting socialism, communism. And again, our young people sometimes just don't, and it's not that all of them don't understand, but many of them don't understand what you're getting into. You can vote your way into socialism, but you got to shoot your way out of it. And so at 10 o'clock, I'm going to have Anna Marie Ward, and I think she puts a real, she talks about talking to the youth about being Republican and what socialism really has the impact on the younger people's lives. Because, you know, Paul, you and I are kind of, you know, we've been around a while.
Yeah.
We're kind of on that other side of the rainbow here, you know.
Yes.
It's our youth that we're concerned about. It's our grandkids and our kids.
Yes.
We want to have the same prosperity for them as we did.
Absolutely.
And we're getting that with this president.
Right, and now that you brought that up, if there are any young people out there, if you have a son or daughter that has computer skills, all these new technologies, like Glenn was saying, you know, we're older. We've lived through the development of these technologies, but they have gone far beyond most of us, and we can certainly use your help in the party. If you would like to volunteer and have something to do with the future of your country, please get a hold of us. We will give you our email address and our location later, so you can stop in, talk with us, and get some information.
Yeah, definitely, because we need everybody.
Yes.
We're all
Yes.
inclusive, right?
That's right.
You know what was interesting yesterday? It's kind of a comical story, but you mentioned technology, and a lady who is Hispanic called me, and she wanted to thank me for what I did 4 years ago, and I'm going, well, what are you thanking me for? And she has been invited to the White House, and because of the outreach program that when I was president of RWAP, we set up, and I reached out to her, and we reached out to the Hispanic community. What made this story funny, and we got to have a little humor in life, is while I'm on the phone with her, all of a sudden, I did something, and she says, "Oh my God, I'm seeing you," and I'm going, what? She says, "Yes, I'm seeing you," and then pretty soon I look, and here's this lady that has a kind of a bandana on, and her hair is kind of out here like this, and I says, "Oh my God, I see you." And then we both said, "What if we didn't have any clothes on?"
Yeah. Modern technology, you got to watch out for it, Donna. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting there going, my God, that's kind of scary in a way that you could all of a sudden be on the phone and you have no clue.
Yeah.
I haven't bought any app or anything, but I mean, that was
These
something.
phones are much more smarter than I am, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
we talk about that, and I remember it brings me back to the old days at Disneyland. Remember the future? And I thought, and there was a thing where they had the phone and a screen where you could see the person talking.
Yes.
And I thought, wow, is that ever going to be cool? Someday
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to call my grandma in Cincinnati and look at her while I'm talking to her. And now I sit here with this little device. Doesn't even have to go through an operator to call long distance or anywhere around the world. And sure enough, it's, you know, that person. So, you know, the technology is running at the speed of light. And sometimes it's hard for me to well, a lot of times it's hard for me to grasp. But you're absolutely right, Paul. The younger people, like our guy who's behind the camera right now, Rob, is, I mean, I watch what he does, and I'm like, how the heck did you do that, Rob? But these are the people we need. We need people going forward.
Yes,
to
and
help us out.
people to represent us as well. If you have ideas and have thought that running for office is something that you could never do, it's beyond you.
Yeah.
It's not beyond you. You can be a future leader. We need the young people because you're going to be taking the reins of our country.
Very true.
You know, we need good educated people with good hearts and the drive to keep America the beacon on the hill, like we said here, the democracy that people envy, a country where people want to come here and across our borders, legally or illegally, they fight to get in because we are a great country.
We're the shiny hill.
Well, and you mentioned too, the fact that the Republican Party is a big tent party. And just the fact that we are reaching out to so many different people. You know, it's the young that you mentioned, Hispanics that I mentioned. You know, I mean, it's not the Republican Party of what it was yesterday. It is evolving, and it's all encompassing, and
It's
I
like our
love it.
president when he said to the African American, "Vote for me. What do you have to lose?" You know? and today, you know, the employment rate for Latinos and for African Americans and women are skyrocketing. I mean, record rates of employment. So I mean, you know, there is a reason that everything happens in our lives. And President Trump, there was a reason for him to run, and
Absolutely.
You know, and his results are undeniable. I can't imagine why anybody would want to go back, and especially to socialism, from what our president has done for the country and for the people of America.
And
Yes, he's the man of
continues.
the hour. He's
Yeah.
he's the perfect person in the perfect place at the perfect time. And maybe the young people, maybe all of us need to remember, the better America does, the better America can help the world.
Yeah.
We are the most giving country as a country and as individuals. We donate money to charities. We try to help people. We want to give people a leg up, not keep them down.
Right. And again, prosperity today for our young people is like it was back in the Reagan days when I was young, you know, and it's a great thing. We need to continue it. Donna, tell us about what is going on within our party. I know you have a list of events that you have here.
Well, we have a lot of things going on.
So let's let the folks know you guys got to be warmed up and ready to get involved, right? So we're going to tell you how to do it right now. So
Well,
go ahead.
first of all, we're really, really proud of our Lincoln Reagan dinner that's going to be held. I believe it's April 18th, and that's going to be at the Prescott Resort. We have Stephen Quass that's coming, and it was really interesting how he came about. I mean, number one, we were really deep in the impeachment process, and everybody was just so wore out over hearing impeach this, impeach that. And finally, we were looking at speakers and how do we change the dialogue? How do we get us focusing on something more that we need to be focused on? And this idea of this speaker came across our first vice president, who was Harry Oberg, and he and I talked about it at great length, and we just finally just said, he's the man. I mean, it was awesome to listen to, what he has to say about the space program. And so anyway, we're bringing him to Prescott from back east. And one of the reasons, and this is very interesting that he's coming here, he was so excited to come here because of Emory-Riddle University.
Oh, yeah.
And he is, so we've, set it up to where he can speak to the students at Emory-Riddle because he knows, as we all do, as the youth is so important and what they do is so important. So he's coming here. So our ticket sales are phenomenal right now, and our goal is to have over 300 folks at the Prescott Resort. We're well over halfway there right now, and the program is April 18th. So anyway, you can find us online. Go to yavapaigop.org, and you can order the tickets right online. So that works out really well.
And as we speak, Rob's already got the flyer up, so
Oh,
you got
isn't
all
it-
the information
That
right.
is so wonderful. And you know what?
That's why we need Rob with us, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Please.
I would have to hold it.
If you have that information up, I ask you to look at the logo for the space, for the what is
Space
it?
Force.
Space Force.
Up
It
on the
is
upper
awesome.
right
That
hand.
that just came out a
Yeah.
week before we designed the flyer.
Yeah.
That emblem came out, and it's absolutely fascinating to really look at it. The other thing that is happening, and this is, we held a Bison Walkabout.
Oh, yeah.
And that was early in the year. And we were the first across the whole nation to do a gigantic, massive walkabout. And we chose Bison, which is in Prescott Valley. It's essentially some of the new developments. I think it's Granville down there. And we polka dot, or we dotted the whole neighborhood with a lot of Republicans knocking on doors and handing out literature and talking to the folks about the Republican Party. It was a phenomenal success. We had the AZGOP, Dr. Kelly Ward came down, and some of the other dignitaries from the state came down, and we did the walk. Now we're going to duplicate that in Borough, which is,
Viewpoint, Pronghorn.
Viewpoint.
These are geographical areas
Yes.
Yes,
that are
when
broken.
she says Bison or Borough,
Right.
for your audience, those are names of precincts,
Yes. Right.
which is the smallest government breakdown. There are 45 of them in Yavapai County. They have a number associated with them and a name.
Right.
Where they got their names, I don't know.
Oh, no.
But this one's Borough.
Well, I suspect there were some boroughs that
Probably, yeah.
Hey, that would be the smart
come up with,
money
you
back.
know,
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like gun people, I always laugh when they say slide lock or slide release.
Yeah.
It's just like pretty basic, but yeah.
But basically, we chose Bison at first and Borough secondly to walk these precincts because they are the fastest growing precincts in
Oh, yeah.
Yavapai County. I mean, they are really going. Now, the next one we're going to do, which is in April?
You're talking about Ruby? Yeah, Ruby out in Sedona.
Yeah, we're going to be walking in Sedona, and there's a PC captain over there that is absolutely awesome, and she's doing things that have never been done before. She literally has the Democrats running in horror because they owned Sedona, they thought, until our new PC captain, Ann, came about. She now has the Republicans energized. They're out every week. They're at movie festivals. They're on street corners. They are in bars. I mean, they're everywhere
Yeah.
they're having fun. And they have literally brought traffic to a halt in Sedona because there were so many Republicans in Sedona, and they thought
Yeah.
there was nobody out there.
Right.
And now they see, oh my gosh.
So if you're in Sedona and you're sitting there listening to this going, wow, there is a party here, and there is a force to be reckoned with. So,
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I have been I never realized how big this could become until just the last few months when things that Paul and I were talking about a year ago, and now they're happening.
Yeah.
So,
one of the things one of my biggest takeaways from the meeting that I went to was when Harry Oberg, the first chair, put up the overhead about Yavapai County voter registration. In 17 and 18, it was a 6-to-1 Republican register. So out of 6 people, or am I getting this right? 6 people, 1 person registered as a Democrat, 5 registered as a Republican. So when I hear a lot of people talking about, all these crazy Californians coming in and all this other stuff, I still believe that a lot of those folks are are refugees
Oh, yeah.
from a system that's gone completely insane, and they're coming over here seeking the freedom that they understand. So if you haven't registered yet, go over to Union Street. We'll get you registered up. We'll get you on the Republican side, and we'll be glad to help you any way we can. Most important, you guys, the reason we did this show is to get involved. I mean, you know, this is a call to action where we need to get involved with our party and show that, you know what, Yavapai County is blood red, and we're not going to give up not an inch of it. And we're going to support our Constitution, and we're going to support the people that support it.
Yes, this is a pivotal election, and it isn't just Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's all of our Republican candidates. They are great. They love our country. They want us to succeed. They want our people to be happy. So come join us, help us.
Get involved, because the state itself is right on the brink of disaster. We learned, again, in the House, we're only one vote away. You know, we got one vote in the majority. We need to get that much more secure in the future.
Just let me mention too, it's easy to go into the ballot box or fill out your ballot and, yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. You have to remember that that whole down ballot is so important, and we find that McSally possibly did not do as well as she could have if the voters had voted the whole down ballot and realized how important it is to fill the school boards, to fill all the judges and all the different positions that we're running for, that we vote for them all the way down and not take it for granted that it'll take care of itself, because everything starts at the grassroots,
Right.
in your own hometown. And if you're not voting for the folks in the hometown and you're only voting for the president, then we've got a big problem.
Politics starts at the local
Yes,
level. I say
yes.
that over and over on this show. Politics start at the local level. So I know a lot of you folks that are watching this right now, you know, we're doing this live. It's 9:45, and we're going to wrap it up. But it's hard when you're working. I get it. I was supporting my family, and I really didn't get a chance to get involved. But in today's technology, there's always something that you can do within this party. Again, whether you work all day and you only have the evenings or a weekend or a weekday, depending on your job, there's always something that you can do to contribute to the party and get involved. Even if it's having your neighbors over for, you know, bagels or ice cream or what have you in the summertime to talk about the Republican platform, who is running. Get your information out there. Have one of our PCs come over for a barbecue. You know, hey, listen, I'm a PC. If you want to have me over for a barbecue, you just put her down there, baby, and I'm there for you, okay? And I'll come and talk about candidates, because we are informed. We certainly have our opinions. I try to hold back on those, but we are informed, and we can at least tell you who's who and who stands for what.
And just a reminder to all the folks out there, if you forget something or need to know something, it's probably on the YavaPaiGOP.org website. We have most of the candidates that are running for office on there. We have things like information on HOAs, why PCs can walk, a community or a gated community, why they can be in there, because it's a statute. The state says you have the right to knock on a door and talk about your party. So,
And also, don't think that you do not have a skill that we cannot use.
Yeah.
And people with disabilities. I have a bad back. I have some issues, so I don't walk. Okay, but we could use drivers. The topography out here has so many hills. You can drive people from one spot to the next. You could do data entry. Yep. You could make phone calls. When it gets time, when the ballots are sent out, we're going to want people to call on the phones and say, hey, this is a pivotal election. If you want to keep your country, please go vote. There's a place for you in our party, and we can certainly put you to work. You will be of value to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for
Thank you,
coming
Glenn. It
in,
was
and
great.
I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Glenn.
And you know, thank you, Paul, for serving our country.
My pleasure.
And we always close out with thanking our military, both past and present, for for giving us the opportunity that we can sit at this table and discuss our politics freely without retribution.
Yes.
And we always thank our police and fire department for keeping our streets safe. We got your back, and we're always there to support you as well. So with that, folks, thank you so much. Another 15 minutes or so, I'll have Anne Marie Ward running for U.S. Congress on, and we'll be asking her about some of our current issues that are going on within our state and our community. Until then, thank you so much for getting up and having coffee with Glenn. Take that, Joe. Thank you.